Hi everyone, welcome to your 20-minute yoga series. My name is Bruce Chung. In our practice today, we'll be strengthening the hips. We'll be focusing specifically on the outer hips. This will help to give us greater stability in our balancing postures. So let's go ahead and lie down on our back with your feet to the front part of your mat. Bend your knees and join the soles of the feet together in a posture we call reclined bound angle pose, reclined supta, baddha bound konasana angle pose. Reclined bound angle pose, supta, baddha konasana. Relax your thighs. Allow the muscles of the inner groins, the inner thighs to relax. If you haven't yet, close your eyes and let's together take a deep breath in. And then release from your mouth, exhale. Thigh bones heavy. Again, full breath in. Open up the mouth, relax the legs. And then one more time here, deep breath in. Continue to breathe deeply, only just from the nose. You can open your eyes, and we'll keep the legs as they are in this diamond shape where the thighs are abducting away from the midline, and then begin to press the soles of the feet together. So think of the heels pressing tight, both the inner and outer heel, the big toe and baby toe mounds of the feet pressing. And see if you can do that a bit more actively. Notice some activation in the outer hips, the outer thighs, and then just relax. We're going to place both of our feet on the floor so they're hip distance, right ankle on our left thigh. Okay, go ahead and lift your left heel up so the shin bone is parallel to the ground, and then begin to drive your left thigh into the right ankle. And then at the same time, allow the right ankle to lightly push into the left thigh. Left thigh pressing actively into the outer right ankle. Your right ankle pushing lightly back into the left thigh. Also notice the top part of your buttocks pushing firmly into the mat. Do that for one more breath. And then release by lowering the left foot and slide your right leg down the left. Take them to the left. Take the legs, that is, to the left. And we're going to twist by reaching our right arm out to the side. So feel a rotation here in your spine. Ground down through your right shoulder. Exhale completely. Release the twist, unwrap your legs, feet on the floor. We're placing our left ankle on our right thigh, and then lift the right shin so it's roughly in line with the ground. Now, I should add that you can hold onto the edges of the mat. Sometimes that's helpful to create the action that we're looking for. So breathe in. Exhale, push the right thigh into the left ankle, as though you're trying to push your left ankle towards your face, but let the left ankle resist. It's pushing into the right thigh. Your mat, if you're holding onto the edges, imagine you're pulling it out from underneath the hips. Continue to push the right thigh into the left ankle, outer left ankle driving into the right thigh. Last breath. Relax the legs down, slide your left thigh completely on the right, and then lower them to the right side, whereas your left arm reaches out. Looking over the left shoulder, breathing in and breathing out. I can see my tea steaming, so I'm not sure if you're seeing that on the screen. But we'll continue anyway. Come back to center with your legs, unwrap both feet on the floor, and then take your hands and just rest them at the top parts of your thighs. the base of the palms pushing into the thighs, like you're moving the flesh of the thighs away from the low stomach. Take a moment there. And then start to curl your tailbone up and off the floor. Begin lifting your hips up and away from your mat. You can slide your hands to the outer thighs and just lightly press the hands into the outer thighs as though you want to close the legs, and see if you can create a little bit of resistance and push the thighs back into the palms. Use your hands as feedback. Push the thighs out. And then begin lowering slowly onto the spine. Relax the hips. We're taking the knees into the chest and then finding happy baby pose. Grab onto your feet. You can hold onto the outer edges. You can also grab onto the big toes. See what works for you, but focus on the knees being slightly wider than the ribs. Let's breathe in. As we breathe out, root the shoulder heads, the sacrum, and then relax or release. Let go of your feet and then bring them back to where we started in that reclined bound angle pose. All right, take your knees over to one side and then press yourself up to tabletop. And I'm going to take the tabletop facing you so you have some clear image of what I'm asking you to do in case it gets confusing for this next part. So you're in your tabletop, wrists under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and then squeeze your right heel to the right hip. Lift your right thigh so it's in line with the floor. We're going to open the hip or rotate externally through the thigh and then bring the knee. So if you look at it, it's roughly the line of your hip. Kick your foot out towards the right. So your right leg is almost parallel to the floor. Have your right toes pointing towards the front of your mat. Stay there for a moment and then lower your right foot down with the toes pointing forward and the knee and arch roughly in one line. Let's find our cow pose. Inhale, curl your chest looking up, and then exhale, round your spine, cat. Okay, inhale, curling through the chest. Feel your tailbone also lifting, and exhale into that cat pose. Now go somewhere in between tabletop. Inhale, feel long. As we exhale, gently press the left buttock towards your left heel. Inhale, pull the chest forward, shoulders above the wrists. And as we exhale, press your left hip towards the back of your left ankle. Again, inhale forward, and then exhale, press back. This time we're gonna stay here, sitting back onto our heel. Can you ground through the outer right foot? Then inhale, bring your shoulders above your wrists. Look towards the right toes or the right foot. Curl them in towards the shin. Dorsiflex the right ankle, and then press firmly through the hands. And can you lift your right leg up? Keep pushing through the hands, especially through the left. Bend your knee. Bring it back into the midline. Look forward, thigh high. And then draw that right thigh in towards the nose. And then step your right foot back towards plank. Step your left foot to high plank. Hold there. And then make your way into downward dog. Exhale. Okay, full breath in. And as you breathe out, bring your right leg towards pigeon pose. So that means your knee is closer towards the right edge of your mat. So fully abduct the right thigh to the right side of your mat. Slide your left leg back. Inhale, lift the chest. And you can stay here on your hands, or exhale, come down onto your elbows. We're gonna be here for about 3 breaths. Inhale. And as you exhale, push the outer shin into the floor. Inhale deep. And as you exhale, squeeze the inner hips together. Take one more breath in, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, push more firmly through your right shin. Walk your hands back. And then when you come up, or when you go to downward dog, let your right leg reach back and up. Inhale, the right leg stays straight. Now, externally rotate your right hip. And then we're gonna stay in downward dog, your right leg is straight. Begin moving the leg towards the right, just as we had it moments ago from the tabletop pose. So it's like your right foot is moving forward, but keep pushing your whole body back. Lift the inner thigh higher. Then bend your knee, Wrap the inner thigh to the midline and step the right foot to the floor, down dog, and then lower your knees, take them wide, child's pose, sit back. Full breath in and full breath out. Okay, and then inhale towards your tabletop pose. I'm going to keep the profile this time, and then we're going to squeeze our left heel first towards the left hip. Then lift your left thigh so it's parallel to the floor, moving your hip through extension. And then begin to rotate the left thigh so the front of it faces left, and then bring the knee forward so it's roughly the line of the pelvis. Then begin to kick your foot out towards the left. You might notice yourself leaning a little bit towards the right. So start shifting a bit more towards the left and then lift the inner leg higher. Place the left foot down and then inhale, curl your chest, looking up, cow. Exhale, round your spine, cat. Inhale, opening through the heart, lifting the tailbone, look forward, and exhale, cat. Find somewhere in between so your spine is neutral and long. Inhale. And with your exhalation, gently slide or press the right buttock to the right heel. Inhale, bring your shoulders forward above the wrists. And as you exhale, press back. Do focus on keeping your left knee as straight as you can. Some of you will feel a bit of stretch through the inner thigh. Inhale forward. And then one last time, exhale, sit the hip towards the left heel and then pause. Use your hands to help guide the hips back and see if you can actually curl the tailbone a bit more up like you were moving into cow pose. Inhale, come forward. Press firmly through the hands. Dorsiflex the left ankle so the outer edge of the foot lifts, and then see if you can first engage your outer hip and then drive or lift the left leg up. Notice you're leaning to the right, so slide a bit more weight to the left, bend your knee, bring it to the midline, lift the thigh, look forward, exhale, thigh in towards the chest. Step your left foot towards plank, right foot to plank, and then downward dog, do exhale. Taking a full breath in. And then with the exhale, left leg forward towards pigeon. Right leg slides back, lift the chest, and again, you either stay here on your hands or you lower to the elbows or closer to the floor. Right away, with your exhalation, press the outer shin bone into the floor. So the fleshy part of your left calf pressing into the ground. It doesn't have to be too strong. Notice if you feel, well, just be mindful that you're not feeling any sharp pain in the knee. If you were, readjust by maybe pulling the left foot in or maybe moving the left thigh a little bit closer to the center line. Let's take one more breath. Exhale, squeeze the inner legs. Walk your hands towards you and then make your way to downward dog. You will keep your left leg straight. Lift your left leg up, I should say as well. Now keep your left leg lifted and straight. Begin to rotate externally the hips so the front of thigh faces left. And then keep pressing firmly through your hands. Begin moving your left, the foot, forward. Okay, but at the same time, keep lifting the inner left thigh. Lift the inner left leg more. Then take your leg all the way back and up. Left foot to the floor, downward dog. And then lower your knees, child's pose. Let the palms face up. Full breath in and full breath out. Slide your hands towards the knees, sit up, and make your way into a malasana or yogic squat closer to the back of your mat. Your feet are roughly the distance of the mat. Angle the feet by bringing the heels in, and then notice here I'm resting my arms on the knees, so that's certainly an option. Otherwise, bring your arms to the insides of the legs, hands to prayer. Find length through the spine. Draw up through the crown of your head. And let's actually squeeze the inner thighs, or squeeze the inner thighs against your outer arms. Feel the toning of the inner legs. Now, instead of squeezing the legs into the arms, let's start to move the legs away. So feel that you can actually press the outer thighs, the outer knees to the sides of the room. Keep lengthening the spine, drawing up through the crown of the head. Can you all move the inner thighs away from the upper arms? Take one more breath. Bring your hands to the floor, turn the toes in, and then fold forward, feet stay wide. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, bow. Inhale once more, half lift, and exhale, walk forward into a plank pose. Stay there, feel long. And then downward dog, exhale, inhale, lift your right leg. Look to the space of the hands, exhale, step forward with your right foot. Bring your hands a bit more towards the front of the mat or slightly off, and then lift your left leg. Can be handy here if you have blocks, and if not, that's fine also. You'll just keep your hands down onto the floor. But reach forward through the crown of the head, and then begin to lift your spine so it's roughly parallel to the ground. Try bringing one hand in front of the chest, and then the other so they are in prayer. Slight bend of the standing knee, squeeze the outer hip in, and as you feel steadier, more stable, then push into the foot. Can you make your standing leg completely straight? Land lightly in a high crescent lunge. Lift both of your arms over your head, and then open into warrior two pose. Spread wide through your arms. Let's bring both of the hands down to the floor. When you go to downward dog, take your right ankle above the left knee. So figure four in down dog. And like we did earlier when we were on the back, lightly push right ankle into left thigh driving itself into the ankle. Back to pigeon pose with the right leg. Lift the chest, inhale, and then exhale, stay upright or fold forward. Okay, completely yogi's choice. Just one more breath. If you're on the elbows, come back up onto the palms. We're gonna take that right ankle once more to figure four in down dog. Lift your left heel, bend your left knee. Okay, listen carefully. Lean onto the right hand, come up onto the left fingertips. Start turning your body to face the left. Notice here the left leg is bending and then the left arm reaching up into the sky. Press the outer right ankle into your left thigh. And then downward dog, exhale. Okay, inhale, lift your left leg. Look to the space of the hands and step forward with your foot. Bring your hands to the front edge or slightly off of the mat. Lift your right leg up. Resist the urge to open the hip. So wrap your outer hip down. Look forward and lengthen through the spine. Bend your standing knee slightly. Let's join or bring left hand towards prayer. Keep your balance as you bring your right hand to join the left. Focus on that standing knee staying bent. And then as you feel yourself becoming more stable, hug your outer left hip into the midline, push through your left sole and make your left knee straight. Lift your inner right thigh higher. Bend your standing leg and softly land in high crescent lunge. Lift your arms. Warrior two, open, bend deep the front leg. When your hands come to the front of the mat, you'll go into left ankle above right thigh or figure four in down dog. And as we did earlier, pressing both right thigh and left ankle into each other. It can help you to push the right thigh forward by slightly bending the knee and then pigeon pose with your left leg. Slide your right leg back for depth to the hips, lift the chest. I will stay upright myself, but feel free to come forward and down. Take a full breath in, a full breath out. If you're down on the forearms, come up and join us on the hands. Once you're there, figure four one last time in down dog. Left ankle above right thigh. Listen carefully. We're going to lift our right heel away from the earth, bend the standing leg. Start turning your body to the right, keeping the right knee bent so the sole can be flat, giving you more stability, and then maybe your right arm stretches up. Like we did before, push left ankle and right thigh in together, in towards each other, and then releasing into downward facing dog. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Look to the hands, right foot forward. Okay, and then with the right hand coming onto the block or the floor, we're going to slowly bring our left hand to the hip as we move into Ardha Chandrasana or half moon pose. We're focusing more on the outer hip strength. So look down the whole time, especially if it helps you to stay balanced, and lift this inner leg as high as you can. Keep lifting the inner left leg up. Warrior two pose and make it light. Spread the arms. Bring your hands to the floor. Downward dog, step back. Look to the space of the hands, left foot forward. Bring your left hand onto the block or the floor. Right hand to the hip as you open up into your half moon Ardha Chandrasana. Looking down or to the right or up, as long as you can maintain stability. You can even bend your standing knee slightly and push the front of your left thigh back. Begin to lift the inner right leg higher. Notice what your right toes are doing. Make them active. Exhale, lift the outer thigh higher. Take one more breath in. As you breathe out, outer leg closer to the ceiling. And then as softly as you can, start moving towards warrior two. And then downward dog, exhale. Okay, deep inhalation. Open the mouth. And then come down into the knees. Sit in hero pose, nice and tall. Long exhale. Go ahead and close your eyes. So if this is the end of your practice today, go to lie down on your back and do a couple of twists. You can also do that from seated. If you're carrying on with your practice, enjoy the rest of it. And I hope to see you all soon. Namaste.